Hey, this is Mr. Aiden. We are still in Unit 7 Diffie Qs, and we're going to be sketching some slope fields today. And your big question is, what's a slope field? Well, a slope field is a field that is sloped. And no, a slope field is a differential equation. And right here you can see a beautiful example of what's called a slope field. You can see at every single point there is a different slope. And so you can see right here at 3, 0, there is no slope, but at 3, 3, there's a negative slope. And at negative 3, positive 3, there's a positive slope going on. And the amazing thing about slope fields is there is great examples of slope fields in everyday life as well as science and mathematics, topographical maps, you name it. The one that you're probably most familiar with is electric fields. And if you remember electric fields from physics, out of the positive and into the negative, we have slope fields in each single point here. You can see if I put a sensor right here, this sensor, the slope field at this point at, let's say this point is, if I'm doing a Cartesian plane like a 3, 0, it is a 0 slope, isn't it? But at 3, 3 or 1, 1, you can see it is a positive slope, like a positive slope of 1. And at a different point, it has an undefined slope, isn't it? And so you can see at every single point, that slope is defined, but that slope is different at each xy coordinate. And we also have negatives, which out of the positive and into negative. And this is the kind of the invisible electric field strength. This happens with magnetic field lines. It happens with all kinds of things. But obviously, think about if I have more than one charge in here, that changes what the slope field is with this sensor. Okay, so you can see the sensor in the middle. Right in the middle has a slope of nothing. There's no slope, but right here it's an undefined slope. Right here you can see it's a positive, very steep slope, and you can see at every single point in time we have different slopes. And so how do we sketch a slope field? Well, we're going to go right to an example, which is the 2016 AP exam, which means even after this video, you'll be able to do all the questions on slope fields, on sketching slope fields. It's so easy. My students really, really love slope fields and slope field questions. They're nice, kind of easy questions for them. Consider the differential equation dy over dx. That's the slope is equal to y squared over x minus 1. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at each point and how it is affecting the slope. So we start with the origin, 0, 0. And we're going to plug this in our equation. So dy over dx is equal to 0 squared over 0 minus 1, which is 0. So I have a slope of 0. So I'm going to kind of draw a slope of 0 right here. Now we have 0, 1, don't we? 0, 1 at this point right here. So we're going to plug that in. Dy over dx equals, my y value is 1, 1 squared over 0 minus 1. So we have 1 squared over negative 1. That's a slope of negative 1. So a slope of negative 1 is going to look like this, isn't it? Okay, roughly. Slope of negative 1. Now we're going to go to 0, 2, which means dy over dx is equal to 2 squared over 0 minus 1, which is negative 4, a much steeper slope in the negative region. Okay. Now we're going to come over to these points over here. So we have 2, 0, don't we? So we have 0 squared on the y, and we have 2 minus 1. That's 0, so we're still a slope field of 0 right there. Then we're at 2, 1. So I go 1 squared over 2 minus 1. We get 1 over 1 is 1. So my slope is in the positive region right there. And then we have our 2, 2. So we have 2 squared over 2 minus 1. So we get 4, positive 4. So you can see how very steep slope. And so you can see what's happening in the slope field. If I can actually go to a website and I can say sketching slope fields, and I am going to our slope field generator. We can Google slope field generator. And let's take a look at our slope field here. And we're going to plug in right here. We're going to plug in y squared divided by x minus 1. And let's take a look at what this slope field looks like. You can see we're undefined here at 1. You can see this is exactly what's happening. This is what I saw, is we had 0 slopes. We had a -1 slope, +1 slope, -4 slope, +1 slope, and it's continuing to get more and more and more and more, and that's the full slope field as it goes along. And if you had a point at any single point in time, you would see you could get your slopes at every single point. Okay, let's go through one more example. It's really easy. Here's the 2015 exam. The slope is equal to 2x minus y. 2x minus y. And these are the 6 points they want us to generate. So let's take a look at let's take a look at my vertical ones here. Let's take a look at 0, 1. We have 0, 2. We got 0, -1. Okay, and so my dy over dx is equal to 0 for my x minus 1. That's -1. My dy over dx is equal to 0 for my x minus 2. That's -2. And my dy over dx is equal to 0 minus -1. That's 1. So we have a +1 slope right here. At 0, 1, we have a -1 slope. And at 0, 2, we have a -2 slope. So it seems like it's getting steeper, isn't it? Now let's go to these other points. We're going to go to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, -1. Okay, so let's take a look at 1, 1. We have 2 times 1 minus 1, which is 1. We have 2 times 1 minus 2, which is -1, which is 0, isn't it? 0. Sorry about that. 2 minus 2 is 0. And we have 2 times 1 minus -1 in the y, and that gives me 2 plus, that gives me 3. And so at 1, 1, our slope is +1. At 1, 2, my slope is 0. At 1, -1, my slope is 3. A much steeper slope, isn't it? Okay. And so if I wanted to kind of sketch this out, let's take a look at what this sketch looks like. We're going to go 2x minus y. And let's take a look. We wanted to take a look at, we were taking a look at 0, 1 to 2 there. And what do you know? That's exactly what we see, isn't it? Okay. I'll bring this right here. And I'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. You can see that 0 slope, 0 slope, negative slope, negative slope, positive slope. We could have also done these points in between here, and you can see this is what the slope field looks like. And if you did every single point, that's what the slope field would look like for this differential equation. So that's sketching slope fields. Pretty easy. You're plugging in points, and then you're sketching that instantaneous slope at each point. Sketching slope fields. See you guys. Bye.